Hello, high levelers, rayodaniel. I'm pretty excited about this particular video. What we're going to be talking about here is keyword marketing. Now, a lot of people do this in their businesses, and I'll give you a couple of examples in this. But before we get started diving deep into this particular topic, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button. I really do appreciate your support. It helps me keep this channel going. Thank you so much, and let's get to it. So back to my excitement, keyword marketing. So you've seen keyword marketing in lots of different places that you've been with stuff. So it could be something as simple as, text this phrase to this number to enroll in a sweepstakes. I specifically remember it because I go to a lot of conferences. I love to learn, so I love going to different conferences, and you always see the presenter up on stage going, I tell you what, guys, don't worry about this presentation. Don't write your notes down. If you want copies of my slides, all you have to do is, and this is where he goes to a slide, and it says, text the word slide or slides to this phone number, and I'm going to send you my entire slide deck so you don't have to worry about taking pictures, writing notes, and then now you could focus really on what I'm saying. How many people have ever heard that before? So this is the kind of setup that you could do inside of High Level if you present, or if you want to be able to do something like that. This is exactly what you do. Now, what I'm going to do here is present two scenarios for you. One scenario, in my opinion, is not as good as the second, but depending upon your situation, you might need to do one versus the other. Right now, what I've done is I've created a series of automations and workflows that we're going to step through to show you the keyword marketing, and I'm going to go slowly through them so that you can understand them as we go through them. But rather than go through and take the time to create them on this video, I'd much rather just have them ready for you, and then you can kind of play the video slower and reproduce the workflows yourself. That way we can save time. So here I am in one of my demo accounts, and I've got keyword text marketing folder here, and I've got several different workflows that I want to go over. Now, two scenarios that I want to bring up and that we're going to cover. The first scenario is where your business only has one phone number inside of High Level. Now, this is not the way I would recommend doing keyword marketing. If you're really going to be dedicated to keyword marketing, I would do the second option, which is have a secondary phone number inside of High Level where you do one is your business number and one is your marketing SMS keyword. That's all you do is that form of keyword marketing and replying to your customers for different offers or things that you have. It just makes things much easier, as I'm going to show you in the workflow, and doesn't present as much contention as the first option. So first option we're going to cover right now. I've got this workflow here, keyword text marketing, multiple triggers, and I'll explain why. Now, if you have just one phone number, that one phone number is most likely already going to have a workflow that has a trigger for SMS customer replies to it, because you probably either have, your phone number, people are going to be texting your main business line, or, you're going to be communicating with your customers via that texting number. So people are going to be naturally sending you text messages from that number. The problem is if you have a keyword tied to that phone number, you're going to have multiple workflows that fire at the same time. Now, for those of you who don't understand what I'm saying here, let me kind of explain this workflow, and I'm going to hop into another one to show you how this would work and why you probably wouldn't want to set this up, because it might create too much contention. So in this kind of case, what we're going to do is we're going to have a trigger. And let's just use the trigger for slides because I used that before. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow this up a little bit so it can be easily seen on the video. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to be using the customer replied. We're always going to be using that for our trigger whenever it comes to keyword text marketing, because that's what it is. People are you want to reply to a customer sort of replying to you. So that looks at all the inbound channels and then allows you to communicate with them. So a couple of things here, we want to create some filters. One of the filters is going to be the reply channel. The reply channel is going to be the SMS. So we want to make sure that we're only doing text messaging. Now keep in mind, all of these different reply channels, call, chat widget, Facebook Messenger, Instagram DM, all these are available to choose from as reply channels. But for this case of keyword marketing, we're only going to be focusing on this for SMS. Now, could you take this and make the same approach for Facebook Messenger? Could you have a Facebook Messenger sort of keyword? Yes, you could. Could you have an Instagram DM keyword? Yes, you could. So all of these things can be applied to social media if you want to. Right now, I'm just really going to focus on SMS, but just imagine if you could use the same type of thing with any of these channels. So right now, one of the filters we have, again, reply channel, SMS, phone number. This is where if you have two different phone numbers, I think it's better, because if you have one phone number whose sole purpose that you market to and you send out your marketing, or it's on, maybe some funnel pages, but you've got this phone number and this is the only use for this phone number, this is a great use for it. But I understand not everybody can do that, because in order to utilize the keyword search, the keyword reply feature here, your number inside of HighLevel does have to go through A2P registration. Now, this video is not going to be about A2P registration, but you can understand sometimes people have a real pain point getting through the A2P campaign and to get it approved and things like that. So getting a second number approved through that could be just as painful. But best recommendation I have is to go through that process, get a secondary phone number. That's going to be the ultimate best solution. And we'll take a look at that workflow here in just a few minutes. But for right now, if you only have one number and you want to get started, this is a good way to get started. So on the phone number, you want to choose whatever phone number. This is just the one we have tied to our demo account. And the contains phrase. So this is another filter. So this contain phrase is where you want to sit back and have the word in it that you want to do the keyword marketing from. So 3 filters, each trigger is going to have the reply channel, the phone number, and the keyword in it. Now, the benefit of this is this workflow will only fire whenever all of those conditions match. Okay? So that's the way it is. And I've also got another one over here I'm just using this to show you how you can have this one workflow contain multiple triggers, like this one right here. This trigger is for gift cards. And again, let's just say if you wanted to have a contest where, you're running, hey, text gift cards to this phone number. You could be a restaurant or something like that. And you're looking to get and build a list of people that you can, text out your happy hour specials or your dinner specials, things like that. And then they register, and then they could potentially win a $20 gift card, to the restaurant or something like that. So you might want to run a promotion like that inside of your business. I don't know. It's up to you. You can go crazy with this kind of thing. Do whatever you want to for keywords on this. So hey, real quick, guys, if you're looking to start your own software company, then click on my free course in the link below. I'm going to teach you 8 ways that you can start your own software company very easily with no money out of pocket, no experience, and absolutely no tech skills. Check it out. Click the link below, and let's get back to the video. But you got multiple triggers. Now, could you have one workflow per trigger? Absolutely. There's no reason why you can't do that. But I would say if you don't have a large amount of keywords that you're using, I mean, if you don't do 20, 50, or 100 different keywords, which can be kind of crazy, definitely organize yourself. But if you have that kind of stuff, you can't fit 100 keywords on this workflow. It would just be so large and almost unmanageable at that point. So you might want to break it up. But this way, all of your keyword logic and workflows are in one. That's the only reason I built this. But one of the things about this, if you do want to use multiple triggers, is to use this nice if condition. Now, this if condition has logic, and I'm going to blow this up. If conditions have branches. So, if this, then that. If this, then that. Kind of is the logic behind it. So right now, we're going to say text is slides. And right now, one of the options we can pick from is workflow trigger. So what we can do here in the if statement is identify what trigger got flagged or fired in order to execute this workflow. And then basically, depending upon that, so the trigger is related to the keyword, and then the keyword indicates what branch of the if statement you go down. So each branch can have its own logic depending upon what keyword you have. Make sense? I hope so. So right now you can have a branch. We've got one for slides. We've got one for gift cards. And all you do is you see that it's nice that any of the triggers that you have just show up in here. So you can create another branch, choose whatever one you want, and then that's all ready and set to go. So right now you get this nice little if logic. I'm going to move this over so that I am not in the way. So right now, text equals slides. In this kind of case, this is where you can come in just for this thing. The next thing you do is a little thing. You just say, here are your slides. You put in the URL. But here's the problem here. And again, you can do whatever you want to. If somebody texts you, whatever logic behind, your giveaway, or in this case, if it's slides, then you can just simply, put in the URL inside of HighLevel to the, media library or something like that, where you uploaded your slide PDF. Just put that in here, and people now can click on it and load the PDF from your media library inside of HighLevel. But here's the problem. The problem is moving forward in HighLevel, all HighLevel has at this point is a phone number. So what's going to happen is inside of your CRM, all you're going to have is a contact with a phone number. Not really useful, is it? Just having a phone number. You don't know who it is. Now, could you come down here and add a tag to say, something like, this event slides or something like that, some kind of way that you can identify how they came to be inside of your CRM? Of course you can. So you can do all that kind of cool stuff, and I didn't really make it extensive here, but one of the things I want to show you is you can now, when people go through this, they can go through here and you can simply redirect them to another workflow that allows HighLevel to get all of their contact information. So you can have HighLevel do this automatically for you. So when they text you, HighLevel can say, hey, what is your name? Hey, what is your email? Hey, what is all this? And get all that information. And I'm going to show you how to do that here real quick. But one of the quick trips that you're going to get caught up on here with this, so be careful, is you need to make sure for each one of your keyword marketing workflows that you go through, this is very important. You go to your settings and you turn on allow reentry. Now, why is that important? It's important because if you don't allow re-entry, people can only come through this workflow one time. So that means they can only text you one time any particular keyword that you have, and they can't do it again because the workflow won't let them in when they've already been through. Now, if you allow re-entry, then they can come through over and over and over again. Make sense? So just be careful that you adjust that because you want people to communicate with you maybe on multiple keywords. So you just don't want to restrict people to come in here once only. So that's very important to make sure that all of the workflows that you do keyword marketing for allows for re-entry here. So very important. So what I want to do is show you this contact info. But before I do that, I want to show you the problem that results as a result of the option 1 that we selected, which means having the trigger for your SMS. Now, GoHighlevel has AI automation, ChatGPT integration. It has, live chat features. I mean, you've got all kind of cool stuff. But the problem is that if you only have one phone number here, then you're probably going to have another workflow that has a trigger, say customer replied, where the reply channel is SMS. Because if somebody's going to be texting your main business number, how do you want to reply? Do you see what I mean? If they text you, then do you want to have AI do that? But regardless, it's not really the point of what happens in this workflow. The point is, if somebody sends you a keyword to this particular phone number, this workflow will fire. So do you see what I mean? Your keyword workflow will fire, and this workflow right here that will automate and do AI, or maybe send them a text message that says, hey, even like the auto missed call text back, could be initiated. So that's a problem. You see what I mean? Because now they're going to get, in that last case, they'll get that link where you get the slide information, and then they'll get another text message from your system saying, hey, sorry, we missed your phone call. What do you want? Or something like that, something crazy. But just be careful, because that's the problem that I see with this particular keyword marketing setup when you only have one phone number. If you already have multiple triggers with responding, customer replied, where the reply channel is SMS, they can conflict. So that's why I'm just saying, it's just don't do it if you don't have to. So this is an example of why I don't prefer option 1 myself. Now, back to the cool automation here. So I'm going to go back to this, get this full contact info. Now I'm going to blow this up a bit. Notice that this does not have a trigger. Why? Because nothing is going to trigger it. This is going to be manually triggered from the last workflow that we have. We're going to, once we process their SMS keyword request, send them an SMS back with whatever it is. Now we're going to pass them off to this workflow, which in turn is going to start working to gather more information. Now, here you can just simply, let's just say, for this, it would probably be a good idea to include like a wait step right here, because if you call this, you're going to send them a text message, here are your slides, and then they're going to get like a text message like within a second after that saying, what is your name, or something like that. And we'll look at what those are. So we're going to do a wait step, and let's just say we're going to wait, just say 3 minutes. So we're going to wait 3 minutes whenever this workflow gets executed before we start doing anything. And then we're going to send them a text message. And I didn't build this out. You could do whatever, have whatever in here, but I'm just simply asking, what is your full name? So this is GoHighlevel doing this automatically. No response for you whatsoever on here. So you can just simply text them, what is your full name? And they know it because just a few minutes ago, you requested the slides, and then now you're asking for their full name. So hopefully they would be still in the same mindset to know of who you are. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have a wait step. You're going to have a wait step here, and the wait for response is where you actually choose this option, where typically it's a time delay, but we're not going to do time delay on the wait. We're going to come down here and do this contact reply, wait for a reply on certain steps. So that's what we did. And right now we're going to reply and wait for a response to this text message above here, SMS full name. Now, will they respond? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But ultimately, you don't want to keep people in this workflow forever. So eventually you want to have a timeout value where if the person doesn't respond by a certain time, then you just give up. Or if you don't give up, maybe you respond again, or you ask them again for their name or something like that. But you can have whatever series you want. I'm just simply trying to show you some very simple and basic steps that you can use to actually fill out all of your contact record inside of your CRM, other than just having a phone number. So right now, let's just say the timeout we put for 8 hours. So that's a long time. But now let's just say they did reply, and it's going to reply before it times out. So now you're going to move to the next step, which is going to be update name. So now you just simply have an update contact field where you come in here and you select the full name. And I'm going to blow this up a little bit here because I know it's hard to see. So you're going to select full name, and you're just going to put the message body. You're going to come down here and select this little option, message. And you're going to come over here and choose the message body. So this is whatever they're sending you back on that text message. You're going to take that and put that into their full name. Now, hopefully they spelled their whole name correctly and they put their name in there. But whenever you do that, GoHighlevel will then put that into their full name. And then, believe it or not, GoHighlevel is actually smart enough, if you fill in the full name field, to break that full name out into a first name and last name. So it's pretty cool. So right now, that's how you would actually get the reply back from your customer and it would actually have their full name, in which case you can update the record. Now, after you do that, you can send them another one just saying, thank you for that. May I get your email address to update our contact record or something like that. You get my point here. So you're going to click another wait step. You're going to wait for 8 hours. And again, this is going to, I didn't do this right. So we're going to do contact reply, and we're going to wait for the email address option on this one. Just trying to, I messed that one up. So, oh well. But you're going to have a wait step. And then whenever they reply, you're going to do the same thing, update contact field where you put email address, and then you're going to have the message body in there. And because you're sending the contact from one workflow into another, HighLevel is going to keep their contact information. It's going to know the phone number they're coming from, so you don't need to make any association. It's going to be able to just pass that information directly through. So this is just an example of how you can simply come back and great. Give me a second here. This thing gets stuck sometimes whenever I zoom in and out, but you get the point. You can do something like that inside of your workflow, and as soon as you get the keyword field, send them off and try to have that other workflow gather as much data for your CRM as possible, and then make sure that you tag them, because if you have a contact in your CRM, you're going to obviously want to know where they came from, how they came into your system, something like that. Whether you tag them or put a source field or something on there. But I hate personally having contacts in my CRM that I have no clue where they came from. And I always try to do something, tag them, do something. So when I look at them, oh, okay, so this person, filled out a form on my website, or this person sent a keyword text at this particular event I was at, or something like that. So hopefully you found this useful so far. Now what I want to do is go one additional step and cover the second option that I had in this one. And that is, how do you handle setting the workflow up when you have a dedicated phone number for text marketing? This right here is going to be the text field with one trigger. Now, on this particular trigger, all we're going to be doing is isolating the SMS for the reply channel. I'm going to blow this up. So we got still customer replied, but we only have 2 filters, not 3. So we're going to have the reply channel being SMS, and we're going to have the phone number being your dedicated phone number. Now, why is this helpful? Because if anybody ever texts you on your main business line, this workflow will not fire. So therefore, you've completely separated the workflow that does the AI stuff with your customers with those people looking to do text marketing. That's the power of doing it this way. And this is the way I would prefer, even if it's painful to go through the A2P process. And it's nothing for another phone number in your area. It doesn't even have to be a phone number in your area. It could be a toll-free number for all you know. But anyway. So once you do this, the condition of your if statement, we're still going to do an if statement, but the if statement, instead of last time being based upon triggers, we're going to base it based upon keywords. So basically now each particular branch represents a specific keyword, and we're going to configure that branch inside of the if statement. So if you ever wanted to configure it initially, this is how you would do it. And if you wanted to add another keyword to it, it would be simply adding another branch to this to be able to sit back and reply to people. So take a look at this. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. Give me just a minute here. Come on, guys. Come on, HighLevel, work with me. Alrighty. So keyword is slide. What we want to do is come down here for this one. We're going to come back to contact replied. That's the one that we're going to be choosing. And then it's going to give you another one. It's the replied message. And then we're going to do is. And if you want to do is, this is more of an exact phrase. If you want to do contains, you could do contains. You could do any one of these that you want to. But for this example, I'm going to do is. And for this kind of case, I'm just going to do slides. Now, the one thing, if you're curious, I've been testing this back and forth, and uppercase, lowercase doesn't seem to matter when it comes to this. So you don't need to have one where you have slides lowercase, slides uppercase S for slide, lowercase. You don't need to worry about any of that. HighLevel is able to manage that, from my testing at least, of being able to just identify the word, depending upon whatever case it is, it'll still fire the keyword, even if it's all lowercase. So in case you had that question. So here we also have a keyword for gift card, exact same thing, reply message, either gift card. And if we wanted to, we can simply come down here and just click add branch, or we can add another keyword if we're the same keyword for the same phone number. So this phone number can be used for unlimited number of keywords, which is awesome, because when I first got started doing keyword marketing, it was expensive. To do keywords, they were charging like $20 to $30 per keyword for every little short, those text short numbers. It was crazy nuts. It made this kind of keyword marketing ineffective just because of the cost of it. So here, if you have HighLevel, if you have a phone number, you have unlimited keyword capability. Just configure it all inside of this particular statement, or have another workflow that handles the keyword. Regardless, you can have as many keywords to that phone number as you want, as long as they don't. Keep in mind, if you have multiple keywords and you configure them the same, then multiple branches may fire at the same time. So just be careful about that. So I'm going to come this back up. Now, I'm going to give you one other, before I go into this, you see we have slides and get contact info. So this is no different than the previous example, where each branch has its own logic. But here's where the benefit of setting it up this way comes from. What happens when somebody texts you, but it doesn't match any of the keywords, and therefore you get no response. How does that work? So here's where the benefit is, and forgive my drama on that one, but this right here has the ability in the if statement. What if this little branch, I'm going to blow this up, this little branch that says none, if, first of all, the trigger is going to go if they reply on this phone number. So if anybody's texting you on this phone number, then this workflow will fire and it will come through the if statement. Now, what happens if what they sent you doesn't match any keywords? Wouldn't you want to reply to them? Wouldn't you want to say something to them? Because that phone number is still going to be in your CRM. High Level is still going to track that, even though you didn't reply to them with anything that was in a gift card or was a valid keyword. High Level is still going to record that phone number in the CRM. But unfortunately, if it doesn't match and you don't have anything under the none branch set up, then this workflow will exit and they will get no reply from you. So it's almost like you weren't listening, your system didn't work, or something like that. Well, in this particular example, why not come in here and just simply say, click on this and just say, sorry, but there are no responses for your keyword. And then you can actually give the keyword that they put in there back to them. So let's just say, for example, if you had the word slides, and slide is SLIDES. Well, what if somebody just put in slide without the S? That right there is not going to trigger the workflow because it doesn't match the keyword. So the word slide, very close to slides with an S. But this right here can, if you put this back in there, now you're going to say, sorry, but there are no responses for your keyword slide, period. Please check spelling and try again, or some other kind of message. But the cool thing is your system will respond and acknowledge their text to you, even if it didn't match a certain phrase. And then, if somebody's on their phone and they go, well, what do you mean? I text that. The presenter said text the word slides. Oh, right. I didn't have an S at the end. And then now they're going to go back and check their SLIDES, send it. And then when they send the word slide to you, now it's going to go down this particular logic here for the keyword slides with an S. I know it's small, but things like this happen and you have to be able to account for it. But now this will it'll trigger, fire, and then it'll send off an SMS saying, here's your slides, great. And then get contact info will automatically do that. So this right here is just great. And if you wanted to, one other thing, just keep in mind, if you want to make sure, I'm assuming that the person that you don't have their contact info when you do this, but if you wanted to, you can come down here and use another if statement that says something like, if their email address or if their first name is empty or if their last name is empty, then do this. For instance, what if the phone number is already associated with a contact? Why go and get their contact information if, for example, you already have their contact information? So all I'm saying is that I just wanted to show you something where you can get the additional contact information, but you probably should check in your system whether or not, just using an if statement, if their first name or last name or email address is blank. And if it's blank, then you can have another logic go out. And this is where in the get contact info workflow, this is where I would put that logic, not in this workflow here. So get contact info, check to see if those fields are blank. If they're blank, then get the information. If they're not blank, then move on to the next field. Or if you have all that information, just have it exit the workflow and you don't need to get their information because you already have it. So there you have it. That's text messaging in a nutshell. Very crisp, very clear. A couple different ways of being able to handle that. So I hope you found the video useful. If you did, give it a like, give me a comment on any questions that you may have. I do go through my comments at least fairly regularly to try to answer questions. I'm all about trying to help you, the high leveler on my particular channel, succeed and use the platform as best as you can. So again, last plug, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe link, tell all your friends. I really want to have the absolute best high-level training YouTube channel out there, period. And if so, like it, share it, all of that good stuff helps YouTube say, hey, this guy's got a really good channel, really good video, so let me promote it more. And you are helping me out as well. So thank you very much. I appreciate your support, and you guys have a great day. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're looking to learn more about the GoHighlevel system, platform, and maybe you even want to start your own software as a service company, click on the description below. I offer a free course, and this course goes over all the things you would need to know regarding high level. I even teach you 8 ways that you can make money with a high level system with no experience, no tech skills, and no money out of pocket. Check out my link in the description below, and have a great day.